we're back.
All right.
Not yet, but
Hey, there we go.
hmm, must be. You know what? Half the internet may have. The internet's kind of crazy that way.
It is crazy.
Did you
Yes.
So like I was saying now you had this you knew where the treasure map was buried
Yes. Yes.
and you told everyone on the internet. I
I
hope they all
did.
caught it.
I hope you caught that because
Where the buried treasure is
yes,
and he knows
I know
and
it,
now I
and
know
now he
and
knows
now
it.
after when this is over we're going to have a rush to the giant W like in the It's a Mad Manor World. It's not the giant W. Actually, we had a little the internet fell out. So
Yeah.
this welcome to part two
Welcome to part two, Snafu.
of the Vinny Mac show. So anyway, so a lot of people knew his problem, Brian Wilson. I went. So it was great to finally go see him after all these years. And it was kind of. Oh well. Anyway, what happened was he hosted Saturday Night Live, and they said it was one of the saddest moments in live television ever when
Oh.
three over 300 pound Brian Wilson was the musical guest, and he was playing "Good Vibrations," not the typical version you heard with the Beach Boys, but just on the piano, and he kept missing his thing, and he was going back and forth and all. And I think I don't know if you can find it on the internet, but I know that for the longest time you didn't see it on Saturday Night Live when they reran that episode because it was kind of embarrassing to a great man as Brian Wilson. Yes. So
Oh wow.
but yeah, I like to think he's come back. Yeah. And what a career! What a
Yeah.
talent! Yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, I don't see many musicians, but the only musician I normally would see is Weird Al
You
because
yeah, Weird
yes, I
Al.
love
Yeah.
Weird Al. I've seen him now four times.
Wow.
Four times.
Does he do the same show or is it all different?
It's all different.
It's all different.
It's all different. I've seen him once in King's Dominion. I've seen him at the what is that racetrack thingamajiggy
Mhm.
over there. I saw him in Indiana, and
Mhm.
I think I saw him at the National Theater.
Yes.
I'm not sure, but he actually came to my college, the College of DuPage in
Yeah.
Illinois,
Yeah.
a suburb outside of Chicago, Wheaton, or Glen Ellen, sorry,
Yeah.
and he did a concert there.
Is he from Illinois?
No,
Because
no.
all that polka music, I would think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
would be
yeah.
an Illinoisan.
An Illinois
He's
polka.
real annoying all the time.
Yes.
But I can tell you about Weird Al. When I asked if he does the same show, a lot of these people do the same show over and over again. But in the case of Weird Al, a lot of song parodies. I found this out is like when you hear them on record, you only hear a little bit of what they do because they have to get the permission of the songwriters to
Yes.
do it, and they can't really publish them unless they get the songwriters.
That's
Alan
right.
Sherman, famous
Yes.
song parodist of the early 1960s, had that problem. Now, in the
Hmm.
case of, but then when that doesn't stop them from writing parodies, they just can't get them passed. But then when they do a concert, they said, "Here's a song you won't hear on any record."
So that's how they get away with it sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I believe that I have no problem with. I love song
I do too. I
parodies.
love them. They're awesome.
And sometimes they're better than the original.
Yes. Yes. And Weird Al usually proves that correct all the
Yeah,
time.
I like film parodies, all the Mel Brooks movies.
Oh,
And all
you
that
know
stuff.
my favorite one is Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Oh, that is so good. Spaceballs is I think he mentioned it in an interview once that was his most popular film, and he's made other films like Blazing Saddles, Young
Uh-huh.
Brand that are just as good, but he said that was the most popular.
Wow.
Michael Che on Saturday Night Live said that Spaceballs is his favorite movie, and he said he saw Spaceballs first, and then he saw Star Wars. He just thought Star Wars was an unfunny version of Spaceballs, which I'll never forget.
See, I never would forget Spaceballs because Spaceballs, it honed in on everything that Mel Brooks wanted to do.
Yes.
And I was very happy that George Lucas gave him his blessing,
Mhm.
but just couldn't sell the merchandise.
That's right.
But that was funny.
Talk about a treasure map.
Yeah, talk about a treasure map right there. But what was so funny is they made fun of the merchandise in the movie,
Mhm.
and of course you can't sell it. So
Yeah.
that was the main point of the whole entire movie.
And yogurt, I remember,
Yogurt,
and
yes.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
And
Now,
Joan Rivers was the gold
golden robot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I was wondering, did Pizza Hut actually spent money for advertising on that
No, I
movie?
don't think so. I think they were happy with the free
The free
advertising.
advertising.
I do know that I think it was the makers of ET
Uh-huh.
went to M&Ms and Reese's Pieces
Mm-hmm.
uh, if they wanted to advertise in ET by having ET eat, and M&M turned them down. But
What?
said we're not going to pay that. So then
Oh.
it was product placement where you get free advertising in a
Oh.
movie. A lot of times you see like in those James Bond movies, whatever car he drives, like a Pontiac Firebird or a Ford Galaxy or whatever he's driving.
Yeah.
They pay for him to do that, to drive that.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
so
that.
but it offsets a lot of the cost of the movie, you know.
Oh,
And
I
it'll
got you.
always be an
Okay.
ad. It'll always be an advertisement every time the movie is shown. It'll always be there, even if the company goes out of business. It'll still always be there. And well, I could tell you stuff like that. Now, in the case of ET, getting back to
Hmm.
that,
Okay.
Reese's Pieces. Nobody ate Reese's Pieces before ET. Then
Yeah.
they said, then people actually bought it for the first time, tried it, and said, well, it's not as good as M&M's, but it has peanuts in it. So my problem with it was it didn't have chocolate in it. It
Right,
just has
right.
peanut butter.
Just has peanut butter, yeah.
Just sticks to my.
Mm.
It's an M&M that sticks to the roof of your mouth. Put some jelly with it.
But
And
E.T. made it famous.
ET did. Well,
Yeah.
ET. How did it work out? If you know anything about the work of Spielberg, he was making all these very expensive films, and I think
Hmm.
comparatively, that was not all that expensive to make that film.
Right,
He didn't have a
right.
big cast of mainly just children, and the only real special effect to speak of in for the throughout the whole movie was E.T.
E.T.
himself.
himself, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that was mainly just a costume. The
Hmm.
rest of now, if they made that movie, they wouldn't even have a man in a costume. They would actually like in all the Star Wars, they all create those out of thin air. Those
Yeah,
characters, like in
yeah.
animation and stuff.
Hmm.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
And
Jar Jar Binks.
I think in the original in the original Star Wars, I think they had like we mentioned Jabba the Hutt. He was
Yes,
actually a character in a costume, and then by the
yes.
time they made all the sequels with the technology, he was now what they call it computer generated. Yeah,
Hmm.
CGI. Yeah,
CGI,
and
yeah.
then and so they, which is actually putting actors like Vince and I out of business.
I know.
Why you know they
Why
can
do that?
I mean, they're getting so in movies.
Ugh.
They don't even need to make. You don't even have to hire young or old actors now. There's a movie
Hmm.
that came out last year on Netflix, The Irishman, where they made guys in there, De Niro and Pesci and Al Pacino. They actually made them look young. I mean, one thing to make them look old to put
What?
makeup on. Yeah, they use the same like Star Wars type special effects only
Huh?
to make them look young, and it convincingly made them look young.
Wow.
There's actually scenes
Huh.
where they actually are in their and these guys are in their 70s and late 70s in
Yes.
some
Yes.
cases, and they would get up out of chairs with the young with not makeup. It was actually a young computer thing on it,
Uh-huh.
and they'd say, "Wait a minute, you're playing a guy in his early 40s. You get up a little
Uh-huh.
faster. Now you don't just hobble out like
Oh.
like an old man, like your real life." Yeah. Someone hold on, someone pull
Oh.
me up.
Oh, golly. Wow,
So
I never saw
yeah.
that
Oh, The Irishman. Well, you catch it. You catch on. It's a TV movie.
movie.
Everything's a TV movie.
Everything is now a TV movie. But that kind of reminds me of poor Sean Connery, who, speaking of
Mm,
elder actors, who just passed away not too long ago, along with Alex Trebek.
yeah.
Sean Connery was one of my favorite actors.
Hmm.
And on Saturday Night Live, when they did the Jeopardy
Oh
scenes,
yeah. He died. They both died the same week. The same real life guys. Yeah.
wow.
First with Connery. He was a lot older though,
Uh-huh.
but they're both not chickens.
Yeah, then, yeah,
Connery's 90. You
90,
haven't heard
yeah.
from Connery in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did Celebrity Jeopardy. Yeah.
Yep, yep. And Dale Hammond, who always plays him on
Wow.
Saturday Night Live, Celebrity Jeopardy. I was hoping one day that Sean Connery would come on
On-
TV and they would have a double barrel attack
yeah.
on Will Ferrell who played
Yeah.
Alex. Yeah, that would have been so funny.
The year he was nominated for an Oscar, Sean Connery, he won for The Untouchables.
Yes.
The same year, he
Yes.
gave a crazy interview with Barbara Walters where he was talking about, I think a woman deserves a slap in the face when she gets out of line. What?
Wow.
He almost lost. I mean, people, the only problem I had with, I mean, I have a problem with that, but the main problem I had with that was at the time was what the main problem. And you women think this guy is sexy? He was like the sexiest man alive, and he was like, he must have been 70 years old.
Yeah. What is wrong with you?
He's that moment. I hope I look as good as he does. Anyway, so but Sean Connery, after James Bond made a lot of good films.
Yes.
And The Untouchable was one of them. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a couple more.
He made a lot of films in he usually played like a Bond like character, but it'd be like in a like a King Arthur type story, or a he did one, The Great Train Robbery, which
The
was
Rock, I think, was he?
The
in that?
Rock was very good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he was one of those guys that if his name was in a movie, it was always it gave some sort of quality to the film. He wasn't like Burt Reynolds who made a lot of junky films.
Yeah.
People didn't want to see it. Or Stallone made a lot of junky films.
Yes.
People didn't want to see him anymore.
Mhm.
In fact, Connery, the closest thing he made to a junky film, I think, was his last one, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He actually saw it. I didn't think it was a terrible movie, but he saw it and said, "That's my last film. I'm not going to make any more.
Wow.
I don't want to make it. This is what they're making in Hollywood. This is how it turns out." He made a film remake of the Avengers, the TV show, where he played the villain.
Yes.
And had Ray Fiennes and Uma Thurman as John Steed and Emma Peel.
Mhm.
And that sounded like it'd be a good film, but it wound up not being all that. I don't think there was enough action in it or something. Which the show had a lot of carefree, had a lot of elegance to it and everything. I once went as John Steed for Halloween one year. Derby hat. And, if you haven't already guessed, I try to keep dressing like that.
Them derby hats are awesome.
Yes. Now, tell me what you've been keeping up with sports and everything.
Oh yes, I have been keeping up with sports. Notice that COVID has been trying to sneak in its ugly head on a lot of sports, but now baseball's out of the way thanks to the Dodgers winning the World Series. They almost destroyed the whole entire place.
Yeah.
The LA Lakers and the NBA is now out of the way, so a double championship for the Los Angeles metro area.
Yeah.
Lakers won. Tampa Bay Lightning, they won the Stanley Cup, so congratulations to them. So football is the only, actually say both types of footballs are the only type of sports that are being played right now. You got the NFL, college, but no high school, unfortunately.
If you're a fan of the NFC East, even football is over.
Yeah. They're now asking us to play.
It's almost like, what it reminds me, being a team, a player in the NFC East right now. You have the Giants, you have the Cowboys, you have the Redskins, and the Eagles. It's almost like, oh gosh, do I have to go to work again?
I know.
It's like a job you want to quit or something.
Yes.
Or maybe,
believe it or not, somebody will win this division.
Yeah.
The Washington No Names, they may have a shot, but I don't think they will.
Well, you never know. I mean, they might just back into it.
Yeah. I'm thinking Philadelphia might win it, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Dallas can't win it. They lost both of their quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're having a rough time now.
And the New York Giants, your Giants, I tell you, if you play Washington every week, then you'd be 16-0.
I think they won 3 games last year. I think 2 of them were against the Reds. So they seem to have a hex on them. But that's the only thing the Giants have going for them. Be a 0-16 season otherwise.
Yeah, Detroit Lions, and that's who Washington faces this week as time of taping. Tua for Miami's doing pretty well.
Hmm.
He's won 2 games.
Hmm.
Now the league is falling all over him, but I still say hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Wait until Tua plays one of the teams up north.
Hmm.
And when he goes up north to play football in the cold, that's when I'll figure out if he's good or
Yes.
not.
Oh yeah. Yes. And so yeah, and a lot of missing in these games now. That the cheerleaders and this
Yes. Oh
halftime
man.
show. There's none of that going on
Oh
now. It's just
yeah.
football.
It's football.
I remember when I was a kid, I looked forward every week to watching Monday Night Football,
Yes.
and now it's just football on Monday night. No Howard Cosell
No
or
Howard
Don
Cosell,
Meredith or
Tom
Frank
Meredith,
Gifford.
poor guys, all gone.
All gone is
Yeah,
right.
all gone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I once went to a Redskins game
Mhm.
in at Monday Night Football when
Oh,
Frank was still there, but Dan Deerdorf and Al Michaels they were right above me in the. I mean, the right when I
yeah,
looked
yeah.
up.
Right up, look up.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I had a sort of a I don't know if I still have it, but I had sort of a I looked a lot like Paul Simon, the singer,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it came to a apogee at this particular football game. Was I was a Giants the Giants were playing. That's the only reason I would go there.
Uh-huh.
And so I had this big hat, and you know how I usually dress. I'm
Oh
walking down
yes.
the aisle with I don't know a drink, and
Mhm.
somebody yelled out, "Hey, Paul Simon is here!" And everybody turned around. And when I saw everybody turn around, I just waved. So everybody told their friends that they saw Paul Simon. But let me tell you that you didn't see him.
That's right. You didn't see him, but that is cool.
Yeah, I know. So I don't think I've ever seen a. I haven't been to that many football games, so I
Mhm.
haven't seen any celebrities out there.
No,
Have you? You
I've
ever seen a
never seen
celebrity?
any celebrities at any football games. I'm
They're
trying
too
to think.
crowded.
Yeah,
I know that they're there sometimes because
yeah,
I'll see them maybe in when I see the replay on television. I'll say, "Oh,
yeah,
look, he was in the audience," or But if I didn't see them, it felt like they weren't there.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to see them
yeah,
to
yeah.
acknowledge them. Yeah.
But no, I've never seen celebrities at almost any sporting event. I think one time I was at a Chicago Blackhawks game.
Yes.
I saw Bobby Hall.
Oh, well, I mean, you saw other players. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him sitting in the press box. Well,
Yeah.
not press box, the suite
Yeah.
above me.
Bobby Hull.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that's a
yeah.
big deal.
I had lower level
You
seats.
recognized him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like he almost looks so drunk. It's like
Well, can't
you
play
can't
anymore.
miss it.
Can't play
But
anymore.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I that same game, Redskins game, I saw
Mhm.
George Allen, the former coach of the
Oh
Redskins,
yes.
and I saw and John Riggins walked by, and John Riggins was a very troubled guy, even though he was a great
Yeah,
player, and
yeah.
he somebody yelled at him, and he just kind of, which
Yeah.
made me wonder if he wasn't really right that night.
Oh boy.
George Allen was very nice. George Allen waved at
Yes.
everybody, and I saw, and I've been to, um, let's see, I tell you all the celebrities I've seen.
Uh-huh.
Hockey games, I didn't see any celebrities.
Yeah. Only Bobby Hall for me.
Uh,
Looked pretty good.
I've seen them like throughout the first pitch or near halftime.
Yeah.
I've seen a few.
Mhm.
I saw a Yankees game, and the guy who came out to sing the national anthem was the opera singer Robert Merrill. And Robert
Oh.
Merrill came out and he sang it a cappella, and he evidently he
Mhm.
did that a lot
Mhm.
before he died. And he
Yeah.
reached he became famous like the year he died or a year before he died in the
Mhm.
movie Adam Sandler film Anger Management, where he walks out
Oh.
and Adam Sandler's trying to disrupt the Yankee game.
Mhm.
Giuliani is in the movie in
Mhm.
that same scene, and Jack Nicholson's in that same scene,
Mhm.
uh, but Robert Merrill comes out to sing,
Uh-huh.
and then of course Adam Sandler does something stupid, and I think
Uh-huh.
he gets punched out by like an 80. He does that a lot in his movies. He gets punched out by 80-year-old men.
Yeah, yeah.
Bob Barker in another
Bob
one,
Barker,
and
yeah.
another film, Happy Madison. Who else have I seen? So I saw I never got to see the opera singer Robert Merrill, but I got to see him sing the national anthem for a Yankees game, so that was good. And then I've seen the only I went to a boxing match in Las Vegas and saw lots of stuff. That's I saw more
Oh
celebrities than you
yeah.
could ever see. And I met Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood and I met Tom Lasorda, met a
Hmm.
lot of Ken Norton.
Ken Norton. Wow.
Met a lot of people, but a lot of them were there. I didn't even see. I didn't see Sinbad. I didn't see Jack Nicholson. I didn't see Arnold Schwarzenegger. They were there. Saw Tony Danza.
Wow.
So I mean, they were almost every celebrity in Hollywood was at this thing, and I saw about a third of them, which was actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but but the only celebrity I tell you, this is really
Uh-huh.
cool. I
Uh-huh.
went to a playoff game. I didn't go to a playoff game. I tried to get tickets to see the Knicks in Madison Square Garden,
Ooh,
and it was like the
yeah.
final game of this playoffs, and they lost. So when everyone was
Ooh.
leaving, I walked out, and I tried to at least maybe see someone in this. And the only and I understand a lot of celebrities come to these basketball games, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I thought I'd see Spike Lee or somebody.
Yeah.
All I saw was Ethan Hawke, and
What?
he was there with his best friend, who's another actor called Frank Whaley, who's in
Uh-huh.
a lot of Oliver Stone films, and
Uh-huh.
he's in Pulp Fiction. And I saw him, and I saw that, and I shook hands with both of them, but both of them were very sad because their team had just lost. And it's very hard to meet a celebrity
Yes.
after they're
Yes.
now if their team
Yes.
wins, then
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
they're
it's like
joyous.
they just had a turkey dinner or something. They're very
Yeah.
excited.
Yay!
But I think that's the only celebrity I've ever met
Mhm.
at a ball game. It's hot with baseball. Yeah, I can't think of any others.
Wow. Yeah, it's like all the sports celebrities I met was when I was at either a figure skating event or I was at a soccer
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. Oh, did you ever go to one of those autograph things and meet celebrities there?
No, I
'Cause I
never
have
liked
friends
them.
who met lots of sports celebrities
Mm-hmm.
at these autograph things, and usually they're rather friendly, but they're waiting for you to
To pay the money.
pay the money to
Yeah.
get an autograph.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain, sadly, when you go to these autograph shows, there's a lot of, especially ball players, but even actors and stuff, that nobody wants their autograph. No, I mean, nobody wants to pay for their autograph. You know, their autograph is free. It would be nice if it's free.
Yeah.
Certain ones you'd pay for, like
Yes.
the big stars.
Yes.
But even the big stars don't want to pay that much.
I know. And see, I hate those
What, a
shows
million
because
dollars, $1,000,
yeah, I mean, come on,
$3?
dude. It's like I hate going to those shows because you gotta pay to get inside, you gotta pay to get an autograph, and then he only gives you like 5 or 10 seconds, and then
Yeah.
it's like that's it. So I didn't really meet the guy. I just simply glanced at him.
I yeah, yeah, I've had people. I'm one of those guys that walk up to get people to walk up to the celebrities and I take their picture while they're talking to them. They can't do anything about it
That's
though.
right. You really can't.
But the worst I ever heard selling your autograph was Joe DiMaggio. You ever heard of
Oh
that?
yes,
He
yes.
actually kind of perfected it. He had like a whole um, all these assistants that were hired to get your book or get your
Mm-hmm.
baseball or whatever it was that he was signing or book or whatever baseball card. And they would hand it to this guy, and then they'd hand it to this guy, and then
Mm-hmm.
they'd hand it to this guy. They'd hand it to him. He'd hand it to somebody else, and you never really got to see him, even though you were in a line like a.
Oh,
So, and the whole point was that Joe DiMaggio was a very not the warmest kind of guy.
yeah, I heard.
And what's weird is that I think the year he uh was Dave Winfield signed this huge contract for like 20 in those days $25 million,
Oh heck yeah,
25-year contract, $1 million a
yeah,
year.
yeah.
That same year, I think it was in the mid 1980s, Joe DiMaggio actually made more money just selling his autograph
What?
for like $100 each.
Jeez.
Which is weird that if you
Huh.
sign enough autographs, then the price, the value of them go down.
Yeah. Uh,
But he evidently made more than $25 million that year, or whatever that percentage that Dave Winfield made that year. He made more than that, and he's a retired ball player at
yes.
that time, Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio.
And in fact, according to a book I read about him, that if ever he was very nice to children. If they if they got him on a good day, they'd get his autograph, and his agent would say, "What are you doing? You might as well give that kid $100."
Oh,
This is a kid.
whoa, that's messed up, Asian.
Well, the agents out there to,
Yeah, yeah,
that's why you have agents
that's right.
to
That's
make you
it.
more to make you more money,
Make more money.
so they can make more money.
That's right. So they can make more money. But this almost kind of reminds me now of Pete Rose situation when Pete Rose goes everywhere and he gets you to pay money, sign autographs. And
Mhm.
I think he's probably the most famous guy now. The you go get his autograph. I think they're worth up to 100, 150 bucks,
Mhm.
and so he's raking in money.
Yeah, yeah, but they're raking in money, and but I mean, if it's done in a classy way, I don't think there's a really a classy way to sell your autograph.
It's like selling your name.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
I think I told you this famous story that the Three Stooges
yes, yes.
signing it wrote he would sign a check,
Hmm.
Mo all the time, and then when there was a charitable trust at the and all these checks were cashed. So
Hmm.
then years after he died, his daughter had a charity, and if you gave enough money, you got Mo's autograph. And they said, well, how do you get Mo's autograph when he's been dead for like 20 years? And and it was one of those canceled checks.
Wow.
So
Oh.
wow, yeah.
Oh.
A lot of celebrities believe that if you write everything with a check,
Uh-huh.
the people might just keep it and they won't cash it. My mom once sent a letter to St. Jude's Hospital,
Uh-huh.
a check, and she actually signed it not to St. Jude's, but to Danny Thomas, hoping Danny Thomas would have to write the back, sign the back of it. But it didn't work out that way. She just got the check
Oh.
back. Well, what the stamp of St. Jude's was on
Clever.
it. Always finding a way.
Yes, always
Always.
finding a way. Clever. But yeah, I mean, some of these celebrities, unfortunately, they'll make you sell almost your soul just to get their autograph, and I just hate that. I just don't do these shows. I don't do barnstorming with these guys and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, oh
There's
well.
there's actually a scene in Jerry Maguire, which is all about sports management and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a kid asks a ball player for his autograph. He goes, "Nah, no, I forget how. It wasn't he sold it. He wouldn't sign the card, if I remember right. He
Oh.
wouldn't sign because I'm not with Tops. I'm with Fleer. You should get yourself a Fleer card outside."
Oh.
I didn't know they had their own contracts
Yeah.
with. I know they have the contracts with shoes and
Right,
everything. I don't know.
right.
They
I
have
didn't.
contracts with. They have contracts. Then they have, I think, baseball card contracts, and then
Hmm.
there's also. I guess they also have equipment contracts with ball gloves
Mm-hmm.
and bats.
Yeah.
You want a.
An Easton bat. You're
Yeah,
gonna hit this with the Easton bat or else.
yeah.
Or we'll cut you out of the team.
Get one of those corked bats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my bat. I'll sign it. Hit a lot of home runs on that.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a hitter, but give me that bat now.
Yeah. 500 home runs on this bat run here, right here.
I remember
Uh,
that. Speaking of hitting, there was a. I remember there was a. Oh, it was awful. There was one year in the '80s or something where they couldn't understand why all these home runs were being hit all of a sudden, and they called it the rabbit bat or the
mhm,
rabbit ball or something, and they
mhm,
think that a new baseball bat was introduced, brand or a new brand of baseball was
mhm.
introduced. And now, in retrospect, I think the players were just on steroids.
Yes.
I don't think it had anything to do with the bat.
Steroids. Steroids, Barry Bonds.
Well, I
Steroids.
remember that one year where Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa
Sammy
were
Sosa,
neck
yes.
and neck to break
Yes.
the home run record by Babe Ruth,
I think it was
and
92.
no, by Roger Maris.
Roger Maris,
I,
yeah.
I meant Roger Maris because I want to give him all the credit he deserves. Roger Maris, and they were both all looked like they were both could break it. I think he did break it, Mark McGraw. The other guy came
Yeah.
pretty close,
Yeah.
but now looking back on it, it was all chemically
Yes.
enhanced
Yes, it
season, and neither one of
was.
those guys are in the Baseball Hall of Fame as a
Nope.
result.
Mm-mm. And they may never be. So,
Yeah.
but on that note, unfortunately, we have to end the show early today.
Oh,
We have some things to take care of.
this is part two, actually, of the
Yeah,
show.
this is part two
So
of
you
our
be
show.
sure to see the prologue.
Yeah, which make sure you see the prelogue of our show, which probably was cut out by the National Arts and Television Science because they probably got a little bit upset that we're now up for an Academy Award.
Yes.
So, but we will be back, and we'll be back for a full 1 hour live show, and we will hope that you will enjoy. By that time, hopefully, we'll have some Emmys in the back over here, and we're going to show that we won.
We have this thing here.
Yeah, we still got
People
him.
are asking about that all the time. I think my sister wants it.
But Kevin, I thank you so much
Thank
once
you.
again.
It's always a pleasure
Yes,
to be on
sir.
this wonderful production. You know what? They only show us from the waist up, so we never have to. We're wearing short pants here.
Yes,
We're
we
not
are. We are.
wearing our bathing suits.
Yes.
As long as I look good from here
That's
up, that's
right.
all I care
Yeah.
about. All right. Well, thank you, Vince, and
Yes, sir.
enjoy another edition of the Vinny Mac Show, and coming soon, more on their way
That's right. More on their way.
in the coming holidays.
Yes. Bye bye. All
Wait a minute.
right.
This is when it gets